Hi, Kenya. This is Jason
Hi.
Grant Garza. I'm calling back because I still have not heard anything from Director Price in regard to, the follow-up, the videotaping, the questions I have and everything else. I did write him over, I think it was like the end of last month. How much longer will this be? What is the procedure?
I'm not sure what is taking so long. Give me 1 second. I gotta place you on hold. Hi, Jason.
Yes?
I was told that you talked to Linda Acosta. Is that correct?
No, that's not correct. Of course you were lied to. Linda Acosta and I have never spoken. As a matter of fact, she's communicated to me through email, and when I requested a follow-up meeting because of her incorrect response, I've not gotten an appointment for that either. So, no, you've been fed incorrect information. So you can turn around and tell the person who gave you that information that they're full of it.
Okay. Yeah, I was told that you were given an email by Linda Acosta.
Oh! I'm sorry. In that case, that is true. I was given an email, but I was not spoken to. However,
I apologize. Maybe
however, it's still the same. An email that was unresponsive that I'm following up on, pretty much like, me trying to follow up with the director of Zuckerberg Quality, San Francisco General Hospital. Now, Linda Acosta is a separate issue. That's a public information officer for the Department of Public Health. I'm not calling for the Department of Public Health. I'm calling Mr. Price, the Director of Security for Zuckerberg, the world-famous trauma center in San Francisco General Hospital.
Okay.
Let's not conflate the two issues.
Okay, yeah, I totally understand.
Oh, well, good. Then let's not bring it up again. Let's continue with my issue. When will Dr. Price afford me the patient care, the human dignity, the professionalism, the follow-up, and everything else that I'm entitled to?
I reached out to him. I think he called me on Monday. I reached out to him immediately after that. I talked to him on the phone, and he hasn't emailed you back or anything.
Color me surprised. I haven't received anything in over 2 weeks. Is that very professional?
Sorry about this.
Sorry as in apology? Or sorry as in state of condition?
I have pity for you.
You have pity for me? Am I the one who's doing something unethical, not quite right, uncouth, uncultured? Why would you feel sorry for me? I'm the victim.
Yeah, that's why I feel sorry for you.
Oh, so can we be outraged at the perpetrators?
Yes, and I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on the other end. When was the last time you reached out to him?
I believe that's all in the emails that we spoke about the other day. The correspondence.
Yes. Okay. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yes. Bye-bye.
it looks like I'll have to reach out to him and have him reach back to you.
And if that doesn't happen, Kenya?
And if that doesn't happen,
Yes,
I don't know,
here at the
there's not much
Zuckerberg,
I can do.
here at the Zuckerberg World Quality Premier Trauma Center for San Francisco General Hospital. There's nothing that you can do. Does that mean that you're just doing your job, and if your superiors aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing, all you can do is just go along with it? You could quit. You could be part of the solution and not part of the problem to perpetuate it. But that's just my opinion.
I totally understand.
Shall we see what happens?
Yes.
Yes. So, like I said, what's my next step? And if he does not do the appropriate thing, then what's my next step?
I don't know. Like, what? I'm sorry. I'm actually confused on the whole situation. Like, what exactly is going on, and what do you need from
What exactly is going on? Okay, I'll bring you up to breast. On 4/11, 2017, I went to Zuckerberg Quality, High Quality Trauma Center, San Francisco General Hospital, with a letter from a doctor to be admitted into emergency. For I was in emergency. I arrived with my letter. I proceeded to videotape my health care. And I was then at that point assaulted by the security and the hospital staff, which proceeded to assault me, accost me. They took my phone, deleted my videos, destroyed the evidence, and then told me to leave, that they would not help me, and denied me emergency services. At that point, I turned around and sunshined Mr. Price for the video, the overhead video in the emergency room. I also told my doctor, who had written the letter for me, that I had been denied emergency services, and he was in shock. Well, what can I do about it? Well, you could call and make a complaint. So he calls the hospital, which proceeds to tell him that there's no record of me being there. Well, naturally, there's no record of me being there if I was denied services illegally. However, there was the video. So when I sunshined them, I asked for my medical records, the Impala log, the medical screening log, which are required under Impala law, only to get something from the custodian of records, very cleverly parsed out, that there was no medical records for me, no Impala log for me. And when I wrote her back and I said, well, excuse me, there's a video. Did you contact Director Price about that? Oh, that's not my department. No, excuse me, I asked for my medical records, inclusive of the videos, which is part of my medical records. But when you can parse something so that it's set to fail, so that each and every individual in their compartmentalized responsibility can fail you, so that when you put it back together, it does not work, it's known as Risk Management 101. Now that I've followed up on all the people, for example, the custodian of records, who won't meet with me either to be videotaped, to go over her incorrect response, I was also told
Sorry, I'm trying to catch up with the story.
Okay, I was also told by... Let me finish, please. I was also told by Linda Acosta, with a signed affidavit, that I would not be entitled to receive the video that I'm requesting, because it would be a HIPAA violation, because there are other people and identifiers in it for other people's health care information. Well, that's awfully strange, considering I was the only person there seeking emergency care. Now, if Linda Acosta is trying to pull a fast one by saying throughout the entire day there was other people there seeking their health care, that would be the whole truth. But to say that there was other people seeking their health care when I was there, and that's why she can't give me the video, would not be true at all. It would be a half-truth. So when I wrote her back and I said, excuse me, this is not right, there was no one else there, I'd like to come in and see you and discuss this and videotape this, allegation, ask me if I've heard a response. Now, I wrote Director Price and said, I've sunshined you for this video. Now let's not forget that a year or a year and a half ago in Sunshine, case 15012, where I had been denied 3 times emergency services at San Francisco General, and when I asked for those videos, Director Price released them to me. So, has the law changed?
Not to my knowledge.
Or is there, subterfuge going on with the Department of Public Health, Zuckerberg, world-famous trauma center, to not get me the video which shows everything that I've stated all along. That not only was I seeking emergency services, that not only did I have a doctor's note, instructing emergency admittance, I was assaulted, I was denied the services, my camera was taken and the evidence was destroyed. That's all on the video. So please have Director Price contact me immediately with an appointment for me to come in, discuss these issues, videotape. I can bring in my prior case. I can ask him about the prior law. I can ask him about the representation on the affidavit by Linda Acosta as far as there being other people there.
Okay.
And we can put an end to all these mind games and risk management 101 and further victimization of a victim when, honestly, Zuckerberg, world-famous trauma center, San Francisco General Hospital, should be there for me as an advocate, not an adversary. And so far, I've received nothing but adversarial proceedings.
Okay, I will have to follow up with Dr. Price today, as soon as I get off the phone with you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll have to see what he says.
Mm-hmm. And, like I said,
I'll keep it on record. I'll have an email.
Pardon me?
I will send him an email just so we have a record of it.
Oh, and please CC me on the email. Please, okay. For my file, to continue to show not only the rigged methodology, not only the inhumanity, not only, the risk management tactics of defer, delay, and deflect, but to prove just how much this isn't about medicine. This isn't about health care. This is about accountability or lack of it thereof. This is about humanity or lack of it thereof. This is about professionalism or lack of thereof. This is about ethics and moral guidance or lack of thereof. Now, let me state one more thing to you. For the record, since this is being recorded for quality assurance.
Thanks for telling me at the end of our conversation.
Well, I believe I told you before, and yes, I do record our conversations. Is it a problem?
No, do what you need to do.
Thank you.
Can't stop you.
No. But, the point remains the same. I will continue to follow up because this is my health care. And the one thing I will not sacrifice for my health care is my principles. And, when the other side commits law-breaking activity, such as a denial of emergency services, and I know that you might say to yourself, or you might have in the back of your mind, what does Mr. Garza know about emergency and denials or any of these things? Let me point out something quite clearly to you. If you go to myownprivateguantanamo.com, you will see a signed confession from San Francisco General Hospital after it denied me emergency services in 2001, signed through the Office of Inspector General in 2007, because they, of course, lied to have my case dismissed in federal court and thrown out, and everything else, only to sign a confession years later through the Office of Inspector General, and to this day, I still have not gotten an explanation as to that. So, what I'm trying to tell you, Kenya, is I've already got a signed confession of them having broken the law. I know the law quite well. they know the law quite well. And the really sad part is that when they signed the confession, they promised they were going to abide by the law. And guess what? They never have, because it was always a lie. It was an appeasement, however, nothing to correct or to do anything to make it right. Because had they corrected or made it right, I would have had a medical screening, I would have had triage, and everything that I was entitled to under federal law. But when you have security in the guise of law enforcement, because they're wearing the sheriff's uniform, but they're paid $12 million through an MOU through the Department of Public Health to provide security to thwart patients' rights because they do not enforce medical law, nor do they know what medical law is, nor do they care, because that's not their job function or their job scope. Their job function, their job scope as security is that when anybody at the hospital doesn't like somebody for whatever reason and turns to security and says to jump, they say, how high? And if you try to call the San Francisco Police Department through the dispatch or anything, they will tell you that the sheriff has sole jurisdiction over the unit, thereby thwarting a person's law enforcement rights to his medical care, because the sheriff isn't providing law enforcement, he's providing security. And I have 1,000 or more videos on YouTube showing that. So, the disgrace is not in me, who's consistently tried to fix everything. It's been in all the players on the other side who are going to retire, live the good life, have a pension, and move on to the next victim.
Okay, in this case, I'll have to give Mr. Price a phone call.
Okay. And
this is very urgent. I'll have to follow up with him.
And not only that, but trust me, Kenya, I will continue to follow up and document and videotape for, like I said, quality assurance and training purposes. Because apparently, the law doesn't matter. Thank you, ma'am.
Alrighty. Have a good weekend.
I don't think it's possible when you don't have medical care or humanity through, the Zuckerberg, world famous San Francisco Trauma General Hospital. I mean, when you can't go to the hospital of last resort and get help, what hope is there? Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. I just wanted to put that on the record. I don't live in false hope, ma'am. And I'm just beginning to wonder if seeking accountability isn't false hope in a rigged society, in a rigged game. We will find out, won't we? Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Alrighty.
Bye-bye.